We're about to get off and underway. Leeds in white, attacking the goal away to our right-hand side, and Watford in yellow shirts, red shorts and red socks, attacking the goal away to our left. Danny Mills, the former Leeds United player, is alongside me. Our referee is Anthony Backhouse, and Danny, Leeds will fancy their chances tonight, but this is the Championship, and anything can and often does happen.
Yeah, no game is easy. I know that's a little bit of a cliche, but it's not. You've got to earn the right to play first and foremost. It looks like Watford are going to play, well, almost
a back five.
Well, back five, or almost a 4-4-2. You know, it sort of seems to be changing at the back at the moment.
Well, they've played with three at the back and two wing backs all season.
Yeah, maybe a 5-3-2, two up front, but I've got a feeling that could almost be 8 at the back. They're going to sit very, very deep, leave the two up front and try and play on the counter-attack, maybe a little bit direct at times, to try and nullify the threat of Leeds, frustrate them, sit in, make it difficult for them. And that's where sometimes it becomes difficult. You know, when you're the team expected to put on a sparkling performance, when teams sit deep, we've seen it in the Premier League so often, when teams sit deep and make it very, very difficult, it's not always easy to break them down.
Ebasele playing on that right hand side, tries to push up and cause a bit of a problem for left back Junior Firpo. Ricochet's had a play down by the corner flag deep inside the Leeds United half. The floodlights on here, chilly night at Ellen Road.
Chilly,
not cold, chilly. You've got a massive stadium jacket on, don't try to pretend that you're braving the cold.
It's 10 degrees, I went for a run in a t-shirt earlier. You've been down south too long.
Chilly, not cold. Perot manages to nudge the ball on towards Aronson. It comes back towards the left-hand side where it was collected by Ramazani. He's got it back again and at his feet now, the diminutive little Belgian over on that far side who hit the post from a tight angle against the Blades on Friday night, made a real impact in that game, was in the Manchester United Academy for a spell, and off to Almeria, made his name and cost Leeds 12 million quid. Here's Nonto, who's made a name for himself here at Ellen Road. Tucks the ball back to halfway. Joe Roden into Tanaka in the middle of the park. Him and Rothwell have formed a good partnership in the absence of Ampadu and Gruev, and it's actually given them a little bit more creativity deeper in midfield as well. Leeds United, who are going to be keen to make it back-to-back victories after their impressive win against Sheffield United at the weekend. Watford, who started with 5 straight wins in all competitions, have been less consistent since then. 5 defeats in the last 8, and that's dampened the mood around Tom Cleverley's men. Free kick taken quickly, given by Tanaka into midfield. Ramazani sends it to Nonto. Nonto's 5 yards outside the box, right hand side, delivers across into the box, tucked away by the retreating Sirialta, and eventually Watford get it towards the halfway line. Aronson nudges it down, he's given it away cheaply. It's prodded forward by Tom Ince, can't find its intended target, and Leeds have it again on the face of the centre circle. Birmingham taking the lead against Bolton.
Already you can see Leeds are by far the more confident team, got a lot more self-belief. All their players want the ball, their first touch is better, their passing is better. There are 3 or 4 options every single time they hit the ball. When Watford get it, there's still a little bit of panic.
Good ball over the top, and Firpo is in behind here into the penalty area, holds on to it well. He's got Ebasele, who's trying to challenge him for it. Ramazani takes over, right-footed shot, spilled by the goalkeeper. Surely it went in. Yes, it did. It's the goal. A terrible moment for Daniel Bartman. An effort from the edge of the box by Ramazani, spilled by the Austrian. He tried to atone for his error, but he'd already crossed the line. And Leeds United have taken less than 4 minutes to take the lead against Watford. It's a debacle from Daniel Bartman, and the worst possible start for Watford.
It's an absolute howler from the goalkeeper. Deary me. He's got a back. Well, I don't know what you can say about it. It's a good shot from the edge of the box. It comes back to him. He gets it onto his right foot. He hits it clean enough. It's power, but it's straight at the goalkeeper. It's straight down his throat. I don't know whether he's already thinking about catching it and what his next movement is, but he completely gets it wrong, misses it, slips through his hands. We're just in a replay of the screens. There's no real bend on it. It's almost like he goes past it and just takes his eye off the ball.
It's a big mistake.
There's no excuse for that. You can't, there's no bobble, there's no swerve, it's just a howler.
Ramazani won't mind his third goal of the season, and he probably won't get an easier one than that. I mean, it was a decent effort from the edge of the box. I mean, he did hit it with some power, but
it's straight at him.
It's straight at the goalkeeper. You can't make an excuse for it.
Tom Cleverley's down there now thinking,
cheers, mate.
What have I got to do? You know, we've set up a certain way.
They've won the ball back on halfway, Leeds, and it's 4 against 3. He's played it to the right-hand side, Aronson to Nonto, who gets into the area, goes on the outside, right-footed shot, makes a little deflection and went just narrowly wide. The right-hand upright as Batman looks at it. Watford are going to be careful here not to lose their heads early on. Leeds United on the front foot right from the very off, and they are causing all sorts of trouble. Backpedaling Watford didn't stop the effort from Nonto at source, and he drove the shot to the far post, and he wasn't too far away from making it too.
Watford need to regroup very, very quickly. I bet Tom Cleverley wishes he could get on that pitch. This is the sort of moment where you need someone to go down injured. Oh no,
a big strong run into the box down their right hand side, which is Quado Barr's forte. Went straight into the right channel before being tackled by Joe Rodon and tidied up by Rothwell at the back, and all of a sudden they're off and running again.
He was all on his own though, wasn't he, Sam? He made that run, but he had no support with him at all.
Here is Nonto, who has got support in the centre, and it goes right through the box and comes back towards Aronson, and Bartman has done it again. He's punched out straight into the path of the USA international, and Aronson has smashed it home, and 7 minutes in, Leeds United are 2-0 up, and they can't believe their luck. Right wing cross from Nonto. Bartman's gone to punch it. He hasn't got proper contact on it. He sent it straight into the path of the American, and he has spanked it back. 2-0 Leeds.
I mean, I don't know what to say, but I've got to give the goalkeeper some stick. It's another absolute disaster for him. I mean, what are we, 7 minutes in? It's a simple cross, it bounces just in front of him. I don't know why he doesn't try to catch it. There's a slight deflection, but the deflection is so far away, he's got so much time and space to see that ball and pick the flight of it. And he just pushes it away straight back into the middle of the goal. I mean, at what point do you take a goalkeeper off?
Well, Leeds were fantastic against Sheffield United on Friday night. They will feel that tonight gives them the perfect chance to pick up another valuable 3 points in their push for promotion. They knew that if they won by 2 clear goals tonight, they would go top of the table. It's taken 7 minutes.
I don't think they were expected to be gifted to, though. In all honesty, Daniel Farke's response actually said it all. He didn't really celebrate in any way, shape or form. He was almost very respectful that the goalkeeper chucked a couple in. Fair play to him.
Abasele gets back and challenges Ramazani over on the far side. He'd just done a little trick to take himself past Sissoko and into a left-wing position. He then got clattered by Abasele, and the ball's gone out of play, I think just for a throw-in at level with the edge of the penalty area. But this was quite a hefty challenge, I think, from Abasele, who showed a little bit of frustration. He definitely got the ball, but I think the way that Ramazani fell, he caused himself a bit of grief.
I think he might have fallen onto his leg, and just as he came down, the outside of his thigh just came down onto his foot, maybe slight dead leg. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Get up, get moving, he'll be okay. But the goalkeeper now is going to get so much abuse every time the ball comes near him. And the Leeds fans will, they'll be all over it. It's going to be a real tough night for him. And I don't say that lightly. As a manager, he must be stood there thinking now,
is confidence gone?
Oh, shattered. And every time the ball goes back, there'll be the woo and all the rest of it, and they're going to put him under pressure.
Well, the first one came from a long ball down the left-hand side. Firpo did well getting in behind. He held it up, turned it back towards the edge of the penalty area on the left, cutting it on his right foot. Ramazani struck straight down the middle of the goal, and he fumbled it. It went behind him, snuck beyond the line. The second one, ball down the right by Bogle into Nonto. Nonto crossed the ball into the centre. Again, he fumbled the cross and pushed it out to Aronson, who smashed it back with interest, and it's 2-0 Leeds. 2 minutes 46 seconds between the goals.
2 mistakes, and the second mistake comes because of the first one. You know, simple as that. That's the problem that the goalkeeper has. So now, if you're a Leeds player now, you just say shoot, follow things in. whatever happens, put the goalkeeper under pressure.
Ramazani's off the pitch after being given treatment. Cardiff 1, Portsmouth 0 in the Championship tonight. Preston 1-0 up against Norwich. Stoke 1-0 up against Bristol City. And here Leeds are 2-0 up against Watford. And we've only just got into the 11th minute of the game.
And this is where I feel sometimes for managers and coaches. You know, you set up, you've got a game plan, and two very poor mistakes, and you're pretty much out of the game.
Well, 2-0 is a dangerous scoreline. That's what they always say. Well, it is if you're...
It's not as dangerous as 0-0.
If you're Everton and you're playing Bournemouth. It is if you are Southampton and you're playing Leicester. It is if you are Tottenham and you're playing Brighton. And we've had recent examples of it.
Because it looks more dramatic. But trust me, if you're a player, I'd be much more concerned if it was 0-0 than I'm 2-0 up.
I agree with you. I didn't say it was more dangerous than 0-0.
That's true.
I said it was dangerous. Because you can get a little bit comfortable, maybe take your foot off the gas, and if you do that, then you can invite maybe Watford back into the game. Certainly the Hornets fans that have made the journey will be thinking that that's a real possibility. Larouci down this left-hand side trying to progress for Watford. They win a throw high up inside Leeds territory, wide on the left-hand side. Goes back to Chapman-Tansey, who sends the ball centrally, and it's controlled by Kayembe, and he gives it back to Morris, who sees it all the way back to his goalkeeper. And you know the goalkeeper's got it because he gets a little bit of attention from the Leeds United supporters, who are going to rather cruelly remind him of the two mistakes that he's already made in this game.
For the next 80 minutes they'll do that as well. They will not forget. They will not let him off.
Chapman-Tansey picks it up on halfway from Tom Ince's pass. He runs down the left side towards the edge of the penalty area. First time cross into the box. Is dealt with by Strike, and it's out on this near side and away for a throw.
I think Leeds going to make a substitution.
This is Ramazani who's got a problem,
I don't know if that tackle has caused him a... There's action down the Leeds bench.
Yeah, and he's actually gone down just left of the centre circle as Leeds look at it. They've invited the physio back on, and immediately they got Daniel James ready. And I wonder whether or not that's going to be the change here. It might not be him, actually. It might be somebody else. We shall see. In the next few minutes, someone is getting stripped and ready for action behind the I think it's who is it? It is Manor Solomon who's going to come on. Doesn't see much action, but it is perfect for him. It's his position. He was obscured by the rather dirty Leeds dugout. That glass needs a clean.
It's not been cleaned since I was here.
I was going to say.
It's not even, it's perspex as well, so you know, once it gets scratched, that's it. It's done and dusted. Sorry, our producers just offered us some wipes to give it a clean.
We're not going to go and do it, Sal.
Yeah, it's scratched, it's not going to help.
Off comes Ramazani, and still getting ready is Manor Solomon. That's a standing ovation which signals the departure of a bright spark. He did very well in the game on Friday night. He's had an excellent start to the proceedings here this evening. It's come to a premature end. Well, we've had 13 minutes in which there's been several storylines. 2 goals for Leeds United, and they've had to be forced into a substitution. And already Watford massively on the back foot. Manor Solomon, the Israeli international, comes on. I mean, Leeds fans could be forgiven for not feeling confident coming up against Sheffield United on Friday night. An outfit unbeaten all season, hadn't conceded in 6 consecutive Championship games. But their performance that they produced that evening, I think, gave them the right to walk into this stadium tonight with their chests puffed out and think they could take on Watford. What they didn't think was going to happen is that Daniel Bartman was going to give them a helping hand, and that's what's happened in the opening 10 minutes of the game.
But the problem is that Watford have now is cleverly will have come here with a game plan, sit back, suffocate Leeds, make it difficult, keep it tight, play on the counter-attack. After 7 minutes, that's gone completely out the window.
Yeah.
And everything you've worked on in the last 2 or 3 days has to be ripped up and start again, and that's so difficult for the manager.
So how much responsibility now is on the shoulder of Tom Ince and Sissoko, the 2 older heads in that Watford team, to try and communicate calmness and composure amongst their team?
Well, what they've got to do now is stay in the game till half-time. 3-0, you're out of it. Simple as that. You're not coming back from 3-0. It's not going to happen. So they've just got to make sure now that whatever they do, say, right, let's regroup. No more silly mistakes. Don't give any silly chances away. We don't have to go and score 2 goals between now and half-time. Let's just stay in it.
Preston have taken the lead and then doubled their lead against Norwich. They have a 2-goal advantage now at Deepdale, and they're looking to back-to-back wins in the Championship for the first time this season. And Norwich could have gone into the top 6 with a victory tonight, but this is the Championship. Anything can happen. Oxford 2.
1-0 up as well.
Norwich, Oxford 1-0 up against Derby. Yeah, we mentioned that. And Stoke 2-0 up now against Bristol City, and QPR commentary.
Lots of goals already in the Championship, isn't there?
We love goals. We love the EFL. We love the Championship, and so do Leeds United at this moment in time. Here's Meslier. Back pass from Rothwell is cleared up towards the near side. Nonto is only small, but he's got a good spring. He got up above Morris and headed the ball centrally. It was won by Watford over on the far side. And then as the ball comes back down the left-hand side, Kayembe is challenged by Tanaka. And the referee says play on. He goes down, Kayembe, and Leeds keep the ball. And they're encouraged to go forward. Sissoko says kick it out. There's a little bit of generosity of spirit from the Leeds players, but maybe not the supporters.
And it was the referee that stopped it, and I've no idea why. It's not a head injury.
I think the players all stopped, didn't they? Sissoko asked them to stop.
Yeah, but this is the issue that I have. He's gone down injured. There was nothing really in it. The referee stopped the game.
Well, he's back up on his feet now.
And the physio's not even come on.
Yeah, so he doesn't have to go off.
So what was stopping the game for? That's poor refereeing.
Anthony Backhouse, the Cumbrian, is in charge tonight. Officiated 5 Championship matches this season. He was the man in the middle when Leeds were dumped out of the Carabao Cup by Middlesbrough earlier in the campaign. Every time I mention a team, I feel like you've played for them.
Well, we are at Leeds.
True.
Didn't play for Watford.
No. Here is Pascal Strike over on the far side. It's collected by Rothwell.
Sadly, most of my teams in the EFL now.
But not the big one. Here is Aronson out towards the near touchline, collected by Nonto. Nonto trundles up towards the edge of the area on the underlap. The ball goes towards Bogle, whips the ball right through the middle of the 18-yard box, but it was steered away by Tom Ince, who got back there to glance. A header out of the penalty area as Leeds went on the attack, but they build another one down the right. Roden on to Bogle, and then on to Nonto, back to Roden once again on halfway. It's 2-0 to Leeds. We played 17.5 minutes on TalkSport 2. Lovely little turn by Aronson, run down the right by Pirot. He picks it up, gets into the channel. It's a tight angle. He sits the defender on his backside, tries to get the shot away, blocked by Serialta, and out for what I think is a goal kick as it came back off Pirot after initially being blocked by the defender.
Leeds to just go for it now. Watford are they're on the ropes. You know, they're struggling at the moment. You can tell they win the ball back. They're not quite sure what to do. They give the ball away far too easily. Leeds are pretty much camped in the Watford half at the moment. They should just go for it. Get that 3rd goal, maybe even 4, and then that's it. You can completely take your foot off the gas.
Yeah, they look a little bit under the weather, don't they, Watford? They look as if they're wobbling, and one big knockout blow now will certainly put them on the canvas, I think.
And that's also what happens when you make 6 changes. Because this team...
Well, you mentioned it before.
This team are not used to playing together. I know the goalkeeper's made mistakes, and you can't legislate for that. But now you're looking at it and going, they don't really look like a team at the moment.
Ball out wide towards the far side. It's collected... by Manor Solomon, who's trying to trick his way down towards the corner flag. He gets a lucky bounce, and it goes the right side of the corner flag for him, and it is a Leeds United corner over on the far side. After his introduction, he looked a little bit sprightly there, Manor Solomon, keen to make an impact in the Leeds team. And the good thing about the situation for Daniel Parker is he's got a team that are playing well, which creates competition for places, so that when you do come in like Manor Solomon has early in the game, you want to make an impact.
Oh, definitely, because you want to get in that team. No one likes sitting on the bench. This corner should be put right on top of the goalkeeper's head.
Let's see what happens. Rothwell is pretty good at delivering set pieces, and he hits it right-footed into towards the centre of the penalty area. It's away by the Watford defence. It was a good strong header by Morris, I think, actually, who managed to get that away. Picked up on the near side by Barr. Barr trying to bundle his way up over the halfway line. He does very well, actually, and then sends it wide. Larouci's on the wrong side, but he's got hold of the ball here for Watford, and he's midway between the edge of the centre circle and the penalty box. Sends it wide to the right, collected by Morris, and then sent back infield, where it's recycled and sent wide towards Larouci. Larouci infield. It is back to goal, Chakbatansi. Morris again. Turns it infield towards Kayembe. Kayembe, who's recovered from that ailment, gets it back to Morris, and then Sissoko has it centre field. Pollock, centre circle. Stabs it towards the right. A yard in from the touchline. Ebersele sends it back to him. Ince back to Pollock, and they'll try and keep possession here, Watford, and build a little bit of confidence after a rather dispiriting first 20 minutes. Ince trying to poke it forward. The problem is now it's broken down. There's too many white shirts, the wrong side of the ball. Nonto is one of those. Wants to feed it into Pirot. Gets it on the edge of the penalty area. Heavy touch by him, and it just allowed Celta to step in and nab it, take it away from him, and Watford are clear.
Another good break from Leeds. They're just setting traps. Leeds are able to leave 3 or 4 players up the pitch. So the moment it breaks down in midfield, the moment Watford give it away, Leeds can spring a counter-attack and suddenly get out the Watford back 4-5.
Coventry lead by a goal to nil in the EFL Championship tonight. Here is Chakbatanse left side. What a challenge that was from Tanaka. Had a good start to the game. Tanaka deep in midfield. Ball won back by Chakbatanse though. Kayembe takes it into the penalty area left side, drills it into the box. There's no one in there for Watford. And then Rothwell will run deep, pick it up and try and clip it clear. He doesn't manage to get it clear enough, and then Kayembe bounces into Bogle, who does enough to put it out for a throw-in, and Watford have it high up inside the Leeds United half. 22 gone, 2-0 to Leeds on TalkSport 2.
Not quite sure what Watford's game plan is when they get into the final third. They've had a couple of opportunities where they've almost got behind Leeds, and then they've stopped, checked back, come out to the side and kept the ball. You know, when you're playing as a team like this, you're not going to get many chances to get shots away, get crosses away. You've got to take them a little bit quicker.
Well, Chakbatanse and Barr are not out-and-out strikers, are they?
Well, Chakbatanse reminds me of Steve Claridge. The way that he moves, the way he looks a little bit. Yeah. That's one for the youngsters.
Yeah, well, he's got that sort of languid look, hasn't he? That sort of
shorts pulled up quite high, socks down very, very low.
Thin, lanky sort of running gait. Looks a little bit scruffy, with all due respect to Steve, who's a very good lad. And
he'll take scruffy, don't worry.
He scores goals, Chakbatanse, as well. So I suppose there is another comparison for Steve Claridge. Not as many as Claridge, it must be said. And no Daniel Jabberson tonight. He's picked up an injury. Deli Bashiru has got some fluid on his knee that needs draining, so he hasn't featured this evening either for Watford, who have had their injury issues, and that's one of the reasons why there's been so many changes tonight. But look, this has been a poor start to the game for them, and they've got to try and plot a way back into the match before it runs away from them. They have stabilised slightly, and there haven't been any more clear-cut chances or fumbles from Daniel Bartman to hand Leeds a further lead.
It's only 23 minutes gone. No. That's the worry, isn't it?
Yeah, and it wouldn't be a great defeat for Tom Cleverley. They lost at Luton at the weekend, not something any Watford manager wants on their CV. But it happened against the backdrop of a provocative social media post that they sent out trolling Luton Stadium. I think they've been a little bit quieter tonight.
I was going to say, they didn't put one out this evening, did they?
They did, but they were a little bit more complimentary, I think. Kayembe out to Larouci on the near side for Watford in those yellow shirts, buzzing forward and running up to the edge of the penalty area. It's nudged into the left wing position with Chakbatanse. Barr waiting in the centre. Larouci trying to get away from Bogle, but has to tuck it back to Kayembe in midfield. Goes wider out to Morris now, and Watford look to build again. Can they find a way back into the game before half time? They trail by 2-0. Ramazani with the first goal, the second goal from Brendan Aronson, his third of the season. Here is Larouci on the left-hand side. He's almost got the wrong side of Bogle and then nearly got past Rodon. Didn't quite manage it in the end, and Leeds just about did enough.
So he got into a good position on this inside left channel. Just whip that ball across early. You know, give your centre forward partner something to get onto. He hesitated, he waited, he wasn't quite sure what to do. and that allowed Leeds to get back in numbers and take the ball off him.
Leeds have been superb defensively so far in the Championship. They conceded just 7 goals at this juncture. Here is Strike, forward towards Rothwell. Back to Pascal Strike once again. Collected by Tanaka. Good forward pass into Pirro. Didn't quite get it back to Aronson, but the referee got in the way. He's going to give a drop ball. Tommins isn't happy about it. But it did actually impede Aronson's ability to try and chase the ball. He then dropped his whistle, did the referee. And now he's...
he needs a new one.
Has he broken it, or is it just going to be sanitised? If you've got those wipes again, Sal, he needs to clean his whistle.
I'm not sure what the ruling.
I thought I'd say in a commentary.
I'm not sure what the ruling is there if you bump into the referee. But I know if the ball hits him.
If the referee is interfering with play, then an uncontested drop ball will be given. And that includes him touching the ball or impeding someone playing the ball.
Who does he give it to? Because Leeds had it and it looks like he's going to give it to Watford.
Well, he should. Whoever had possession of it last, he should give the ball to, or whoever was about to gain possession of the football.
Well, Aronson was about to gain possession until he got in the way, wasn't he?
Well, we shall see. I think he'll probably give it to Leeds, an uncontested drop ball, if I'm honest. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Just in front of the centre spot. And he's encouraged Joe Rothwell to play it backwards so that it doesn't unsettle Watford, and we start again. Nonto right side. Bogle sends it back. Cleverly was very critical of Watford, accusing them of being flat away from home earlier in the week. He claimed that they're not committing to trying to play their football and not standing up to the battles well enough. The problem is your confidence takes a massive dent if you let in 2 goals in the first 7 minutes because of a couple of errors from your goalkeeper, and it's difficult to rebuild from there. Pirro picking it up on the centre circle, but he's being charged off the ball by Sissoko. Good body swerving by Sissoko, and then he sends the ball out towards the right, collected by Quado Bar, who goes on the outside of Firpo, gets the cross in. Ince was joining but didn't get hold of the ball, and then Stroke manages to smuggle it away for Leeds out towards the far side, and they'll clear it upfield through Junior Firpo.
Promising positions for Watford, but it just looks like they're playing as individuals. It's not like there's a set game plan of how they're going to attack when they get in that final third.
Still Arsenal 0, Shakhtar 0, and Aston Villa 0, Bologna 0. That game's over on TalkSport, by the way. Aston Villa against Bologna, and we've got quite a lot of football upcoming over the course of the next few days on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. Atalanta against Celtic tomorrow, 5:45. Leipzig, Liverpool on TalkSport, 8 o'clock. Manchester City, Sparta Prague at the same time on TalkSport 2. Bogle has been pulled back for a challenge that he made on Jack Bertadze. Free kick given to Watford about 10 yards outside their own penalty area. And they have possession once again. 2-0 the score. You're listening to TalkSport 2. And Leeds United looking to go top of the Championship table tonight with a 2-goal victory. Thursday night, Panathinaikos, Chelsea and Fenerbahce, Manchester United and Tottenham AZ Alkmaar, all available on the TalkSport network. On weeks like this, the only thing you need is a TalkSport app. You can download it, you can click between the two stations, you can listen to the podcast, Premier League All Access available, previewing and reviewing the weekend's action, Outspoken with White and Jordan, Talk Boxing with Simon and Spencer, all available on the app in the podcast section as well, and you can go back and listen to some of the shows that have graced the airwaves by going onto the schedule, flicking backwards, and you'll get those on demand.
Leeds are dominating at the moment. They're controlling.
How Watford would love to scroll back to earlier in the game and start it again.
Yeah, but they've got to do something different.
Here's Strapp trying to break the lines with the ball down the left-hand side. A low cross into the near post is blocked and sent away by Abasela. It's out for a corner. What do they need to do different?
They need to play some balls in behind Leeds. Everything at the moment is to feet, and Watford can't get out of their own half. Their centre forwards are looking to feet. They're coming deep onto their own centre circle, 10 yards inside their own half. Sometimes you just have to go, you know what, let's just play a few balls in behind, stretch the game a little bit, let's get us up the pitch. I know that's not fashionable, but they're clearly not good enough to play out from the back and play scintillating football, so you have to do something different.
Corner kick to Leeds. In front of the Norman Hunter stand away to our right. It's a right-footed delivery in towards the near post. Strike throws himself at the ball. Doesn't get proper contact on it. Hits the defender, who eventually gets it wide to clear. Tom Ince manages to get it to the halfway line. It's good delivery, that, wasn't it? He just didn't get enough purchase on the header.
Sometimes just leaving it into that near post area, you know, it's a dangerous ball, because sometimes you don't need a devastatingly great header. It can just be a little flick and it just drifts into the far corner.
This is Tanaka, just in front of the centre circle for Leeds United, in control of the game. Bogle steps over it, gets the return to Nonto from Pirro, and then a little bit of trickery, a right-footed shot, and Bartman's made a great save. Down at his near post, a repelled effort from the Italian, who was trying to sneak that in at the near post after brilliant, clever footwork to get into the area. Quick pass, give and go between him and Pirro to set it back to him, and he maybe will be thinking he should have had Leeds' third goal.
I mean, it's easier sat from up here, but it's so obvious what's going to happen there, isn't it? You know, once he leaves the ball, he's going to go for the 1-2. Watford don't read it at all, and it's great feet from Nonto. He looks to go inside, goes back onto his right foot, drives one into the near post, and Backman this time is a little bit fortunate. He saves it and pushes it wide.
Yeah, it's a good save by him. That might restore a bit of confidence as Rothwell's delivery goes to the back post this time. It's headed down by Rodon, and then it had to be steered out for a corner by Sirialta. It was a little bit too easy, that, for Joe Rodon to get a free header in. He didn't actually get it completely right. He got a little bit of a scuffed header on it. Any sort of real purchase on that, and the Watford defence were in trouble, Dan.
Watford need to show a little bit more fight, a little bit more spirit at the moment. I know that it's tough. They've gone 2-0 down. They're away from home. But you've got to react. You've got to show a bit of courage.
Rothwell goes for a short one. Solomon goes for a deeper cross. It goes to the far post, and then Tanaka was coming around the back and trying to skew it backwards. It didn't quite catch where he wanted, and it goes behind and away for a goal kick away to our right. But you get the feeling there's more in this for the club from Ellen Road.
It's a deep ball to the back post. He's unfortunate. He's just running out of pitch. I think by the time he hits it, he's probably, a foot away from the touchline.
Rothwell's been pretty good from set pieces this season. His delivery's a real weapon, but that one went a little bit shorter to Solomon, who did a very good job of delivering that to the far post. Here is Rothwell once again on from Bournemouth.
I like him. He's a tidy player, isn't he? You know, he's good in that. He doesn't give the ball away. He's industrious. He's busy in there. He's always looking to get on the ball.
Quality delivery into the box as well. That's helpful, especially at this level. Ball on the wide left for Leeds with Solomon as Patrick Bamford warms up away to our left-hand side. We'll see him a little bit later on. Here's Solomon, looking to try and squeeze that into the path of Junior Firpo, who's got really aggressively high up on that left-hand side. They've lost the ball.
So look, Sam, Watford have got it now, and look, everything is still in their own half. No one's making a run in behind. So now look, Leeds can put the press on so quickly, so easily. But those little passes into midfield, there's 2 or 3 Leeds players around them all the time. You've got to stretch the game. Yeah, you can tell the goalkeeper had the ball then.
Yeah, he was under pressure from Joel Perreault as well. Aronson gets onto the end of a little flick by Nonto. Too easy for him to steer it into the American's path. Goes back to the right and Jaden Bogle. Chance to cross maybe. Instead gives it short to Aronson. Back to Bogle once more. Nonto's there as well. Aronson tries to play it around the corner to Nonto. Gets a little bit of a whack, but they play themselves out of a tight spot and switch the play to the other side. Strike comes centrally. Gives it to Tanaka. There's more space for Nonto here. He's going to hit it from distance. Hits the back of Sirialta and goes out for a corner.
Too easy for Leeds at the moment. They're playing well. They're playing with lots of confidence, but they're just getting themselves into space all the time. They're able to get the ball turn 20, 25 yards from goal. That's not good enough from Watford. I said you've got to show a bit more spirit, a bit more energy, get close to people. I'm not talking about going around just kicking people for the sake of it, but actually put pressure on players to make them make a difference. Get their head down, make them think about it. Nonto gets the ball, turns, looks up, gets it out of his feet as a shot. Way too easy.
2-0 to Leeds with 11 minutes to go before half-time. Here is the corner, right-footed in towards that near post, kicked by Firpo, and then sent back across the face of goal by Tanaka, who dived brilliantly from a tight angle to keep it alive, and it was smuggled away by the Watford defence. Back it comes towards the edge of the area. Sissoko's going to get there before Solomon, and they're going to get it to
that could be red.
Challenge.
That could be red.
It's a poor challenge by Ebosele. He's going to get a yellow card rather than a red. It is a yellow card for Ebosele, but he was walking a very thin line there.
If that's Premier League, that's a red card.
Well, he was out of control, I think, Dan.
You could see it coming from a mile away. He's frustrated. He lunges in. In all fairness, he half pulls out of it, and he catches him probably with his shins.
I think that saved him.
Yeah, he bends his legs a little bit. Strout gets there first. A long time before he gets there, and it's just the fact that he doesn't catch him with his studs showing. He gets away with a yellow. He's very, very fortunate.
Festi is feisty, and Festi Ebosele the first to go into the referee's notebook tonight, 10 minutes before half-time. Free kick to Leeds United. Rothwell to take it far side. Not sure this one's going to go anywhere near the penalty area. I think they're going to try and bill, well, they were, and then because of the way that Watford had shaped up, they decided to go short. Rothwell has it then. Played short to him by Firpo, and then Rothwell just kicks it straight at Kwado Bar, and the ball ends up into the possession of Watford, who now look to build from the halfway line. That was a bit of a waste.
But look at Leeds. Look at the way they're putting pressure on the Watford players. They're forcing them into quick actions, forcing them in to make mistakes. When it's the other way around, Watford are very lackadaisical putting pressure on Leeds. They can have a touch, they can get their head up, they can look around, they can pick whichever option they want to play. It's brilliant for a Leeds player. It makes the game so much easier.
Ball is out of play over on the far side. Watford haven't won away from home since the opening weekend of the season. A lot of that is down to defensive issues that they've had. They've lost each of their last 4 away, conceding 10 goals in the last 3. They've conceded another 2 tonight. And Leeds aren't finished yet. Here's Manor Solomon down the left-hand side, a yard in from the touchline, starts to scamper forward. He's halfway inside Watford territory, squeezes it through to Aronson well. He turns and sends it wide. Got the best of balls. It's cut out by Larucci. He looks to try and steam forward, and then Tanaka, well, I think he was a little bit guilty of a late challenge there. He's got a yellow card.
I'm not sure it's a booking.
I don't think you can really equate the Tanaka challenge and the Ebosele challenge, can you?
No. I mean, do you know what that reminded me of there? You know, sometimes, in rugby, when someone intercepts it sort of like on their own 22-yard line, and then you've got to run the length of the pitch with no support whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's effectively what he had to do, wasn't it?
Because Watford just don't have anyone up in opposition territory, because Bart and Ince and Chakmatazzi, they're not out-and-out strikers, and Ince is playing in the centre of midfield alongside Kayembe, as he had done for most of the season, with Sissoko in there a little bit deeper. Bart, as good as he is, he's a left winger really.
And this is what they did. They came here to set up to be difficult to beat, to frustrate Leeds, and unfortunately the goalkeeper's chucked a couple in after 7 minutes. Game plan out the window.
Yeah, I mean, they were forced into, I won't say they were forced into errors, but Leeds did apply the pressure, and it wasn't as if Leeds have offered nothing in attack. Leeds have played well.
Oh no, they have, and they have put pressure on, and they've maybe eased off since those 2 goals went in, and you can understand that.
Kayembe's just got hospital pass from Daniel Bartman, and straight away Manor Solomon was breathing down his neck. Here is Pollock on the far side, finding Ince, who trundles over the halfway line, pokes it into the path of Ebosele.
Look, big switch is on. Hit a big diagonal ball. It's on. He's in space on his left-hand side. It's taken 4 passes where they could have played it in 1, and now he's got no space left.
Larucci has it though on this near side for Watford, coming forward, looking to try and drag themselves back into the game before half-time. Chakmatazzi makes space for the shot, makes the shot towards the far corner, and Meslier goes diving to his left and fingertips the ball round the post.
Comfortable save in the end for Meslier. full stretch to his left-hand side, but I don't think it ever really troubled him, in all honesty.
2-0 Cardiff lead against Portsmouth. Oxford 1-0 up against Derby. Preston 2-0 up against Norwich. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Swansea 0. Stoke 2-0 up against Bristol City, and Coventry League QPR, the bottom team, by 1-0. Here it is 2-0 to Leeds United in the Championship, live in the EFL on Talk Sport 2. Still 0-0 Arsenal and Shakhtar Donetsk, and Aston Villa against Bologna. Ball swung in towards the near post. Mellier's come and not quite got, and it was sort of fumbled behind. Meslier thought he was being dragged down by Pollock. The referee did not do anything about it, Anthony Backhouse, and it goes out for another corner.
He's not great on crosses, is he, Illan Meslier? He comes, he's quite slight. He's not really a presence when he comes to the ball, and he just got knocked out of the way.
Here is the corner then to be taken over on the far side, and Ince will whip it in right under Meslier, and they try to smuggle it in there, and it was only the presence of the retreating Willie Gnonto.
How's that not gone in, Sam?
That helped that over the top of the bar, and Gnonto's not the biggest man. Meslier was crushed and pushed behind the goal line.
It's a goal kick, so it's obviously hit a Watford. Is it Pollock that's got a header on it?
Yeah, but I think Gnonto did enough to sort of almost head it against Pollock.
But he sort of is. We just seen a replay of the first one where Meslier comes. Hopefully we'll get to see the second one in a minute, because it almost looked like it was on the line.
Yeah, but there was a clutch of players, weren't there?
Yeah,
right on the edge of the just in the goal mouth. And as the corner came in, Meslier got nowhere near it, and we haven't seen a replay of that, but a goal kick has been given. You're listening to Talk Sport 2.
You're almost thinking at that stage where it's right underneath the crossbar, a touch, and it's in the back of the net, and somehow it went over.
And also, you're thinking at this stage, gamble absolutely everything on making sure it goes in the net. If you do that, you're going at half-time 2-1. It's a very different feeling and a different team talk for Tom Cleverley.
Oh, completely. We're just going to see it again now. Against it, Meslier, he's not particularly strong, is he? Does he get a hand and push it onto Pollock's head, perhaps?
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Unfortunate.
They all fell on top of one another, though, didn't they? Right on the goal line. Gnonto was right at the bottom of that pile. He is up and chasing Bartman once again, who kicks it long. The offside flag is up against Tom Ince. Rothwell taps it forward. Gnonto. 4 minutes before half-time. TalkSport 2-0 to Leeds United in the Championship. At the moment, they're going top of the table. Watford started the night in 8th position in the Championship. If they were to come back and win this game, they could go up into the top 5 despite their indifferent recent form. They were one of the surprise teams in the early part of the season. Ball came out to Aronson by Firpo. He tried to touch it out to Manor Solomon on the left-hand side, just didn't quite have the speed to keep it in play, and it dribbles out and goes for a throw-in in the right wing-back position for Watford, who trail by 2-0.
Well, it's a huge team talk for Cleverley at half-time. He's got to somehow change things around dramatically. I fear the only hope that he has got, though, is that Leeds completely take their foot off the gas and get very, very complacent.
And that's what Leeds can't afford to do.
I don't think they will.
In this stadium, with this crowd.
I can't see that happening, but I think that's Watford's only hope.
And Leeds didn't dominate possession, but Sheffield United were dominated from the off, and they will expect to create more chances in the second half. They outshot Sheffield United during that game on Friday night. They only allowed them one shot on target. Defensively, they have been very good. If they keep a shutout tonight, they get all 3 points and they go top of the table. They'll know that. Here is Larouci, former Liverpool trainee, playing the ball back to Ince on this left-hand side. Tries to skip to the edge of the box. The ball bounces into the midfield. 2 minutes to go before half-time. Morris plays it centrally. Kayembe scored a few goals this season from midfield. Back to Surialta, and that's a poor ball forward, and it's been pinched by Tanaka, and now Manor Solomon is sent down the left-hand side. Ebosele is one of the fastest players in the Championship, almost caught him up there. Back by Solomon into Junior Firpo. They've got 3 men forward in the box now, Leeds. Firpo trundles towards the edge of the penalty area, sends it wide. Solomon takes on Kabasele, whips infield, tries to play a low ball into Firpo. Was stopped brilliantly by Pollock, but they've won it back very quickly, and Solomon's done well. Tanaka back to halfway. onto Rothwell, who charges forward down the left-hand side. Arsenal have taken the lead. It comes back into the box looking for Solomon. Solomon just trying to drag it back and ran into Ince, and then it was cleared away by Watford up to halfway. But Quado Bar is on his own, trying to fight the entire Leeds defence to keep hold of possession. He didn't do it, and Leeds have possession. I think the referee's going to stop the game because there was a little bit of a head injury. And
that's where Leeds have been very, very good, isn't it? When Watford get the ball, they swarm around.
Brilliant. You know that sort of 6-second rule that Barcelona used to have?
Well, it's like when Bielsa was here. You know, we've seen it from Pep's teams. But that's the thing, win the ball back as quick as possible. That's the best time, because when you've been chasing around and suddenly you get the ball, teams panic a little bit, and that's when they're most vulnerable to give the ball away and make mistakes. And if you charge them, you put under real pressure, you can win it back quite quickly.
Arsenal's goal was an own goal from Dimitro Rizmic, half an hour into their Champions League game. Here we've played our first 45 minutes. We're just waiting to see how many minutes we're going to have added on. 5 minutes of added time at the end of the first half, which seems a little bit excessive, but you know.
Well, there's a few people gone early for a cup of tea. They might want to sit back down.
They can go out for 5 extra minutes and come back and have a 20-minute half time and get a couple of pints in during that period.
This is Leeds, mate. That's 4. You get 4 pints in.
Listen, I was being ambitious for myself. Rothwell.
Crookie says you like to nurse it.
Nurse it?
Look after a pint when you have one.
It stays there for a long time. I'll make sure I get full value from it. That's all I'm saying. I went to a party on Saturday night and I wasn't drinking, and someone was trying to get me to do a turbo shandy. Ever done one of those?
Oh yes.
Oh my God. Smirnoff Ice and half a pint of lager.
Yeah, and a shot of vodka as well. An extra shot of vodka. Yeah, an extra shot.
It was horrendous.
Well, you got power shandy, you got turbo shandy.
It was horrendous. I didn't want anything to do with it.
We used to have them back when I was at Leeds back in the day.
I got bullied into it.
I didn't realise they were still going.
Yeah. Well, the geezer who was giving it to me was an elder statesman. Let's put it that way.
So it went power shandy, then turbo shandy.
We had a good night, and on a different day I might have indulged a little bit more. We once upon a time were quite big on those, but it was once upon a time. We're all getting a little bit older now.
Well, I'm sure you remember the snake bite and black days.
Definitely. Student days. Rothwell gets it back to his goalkeeper. Meslier under pressure manages to clear. It's picked up on the edge of the 18-yard box by Tanaka, and is encouraged to go forward. Nonto had made a really good run down this right-hand side. The Leeds fans spotted it, but Tanaka didn't. Yeah,
he was facing the wrong way, in all fairness. He was looking out to the left-hand side. Obviously didn't get a shout. It would have been difficult to turn out and ping it out this way.
Bogle. As Norwich get a goal back against Preston Deepdale just before half-time. Here is Nonto getting the ball and running it towards the edge of the area, going on the outside, trying to shot, hits the deflection, goes behind, it's a corner. He went towards the near post again, but there were 1, 2, 3, 4 running into the box in white, ready for the cross across the face of goal. It didn't come their way, but it has gone out for a corner.
Leeds look really good at the moment, look very, very comfortable as well. So they're taking their time. They're in complete control of this game. As long as they keep their attitude right, Leeds will win this game comfortably.
Going to be a free kick. Corner kick on this near side by Rothwell, right at the end of the first 45. Dortmund have taken the lead away at Real Madrid in the Bernabeu. Rothwell's delivery towards Joe Rodon, who hasn't scored for a very long time. Comes off.
He's a centre-half. Give him a break, Sam.
Yeah, but the last goal that he scored was in August 2022 for Rennes against Brest. That was a long time ago. You know, set pieces and all that.
It's not his job. Defenders Union.
Corner kick on the near side.
He's kept plenty of clean sheets in there.
He certainly has. He's been terrific, and he's very comfortable with the ball at his feet as well, which helps. Rothwell into the near post. Not a great delivery this time. Trying to flatter one into the near post, stooping to head it clear on the edge of the 6-yard box was Ince. It goes all the way back to halfway, and then Bogle gets it to Meslier, and Leeds look to try and build again. There's still 90 seconds of added time to play here at Ellen Road. And Watford, who have only got one away goal in the league since the opening day, scored by Ryan Andrews, who's not in the team tonight. He's dropped, and is on the bench. That was in the 4-1 defeat away at Norwich. There have been heavy defeats on the road. This is going to be another one, unless they somehow come up with something in the second half. Pirro trying to get away from Sirialta. Again, they're swarming around the man on the ball, Leeds United. And it's good to watch. It's tenacious. That's why they've done so well. Pushed by Chakbatadze on Rodon, gives a free kick to Leeds, and it'll be the last action of a 45 minutes, which I think Daniel Farke will be very happy with. The only thing he might sort of raise an eyebrow at, Dan, is that they haven't scored more goals.
Yeah, I think if that's the only criticism that you can level at them, they went 2-0 up, they were gifted 2 goals, they haven't gone for it, they haven't got that third, and they haven't quite killed the game off. It's tough sometimes. When you go 2-0 up early, there is a tendency to go, oh, you know what, we're done now. You know, we can take our time a little bit. Passing becomes a little bit not as crisp. In the final third, you maybe take an extra touch, be a little bit more cautious, and let's just keep it because we don't need to score. I mean, it's a very, very minor criticism, but Leeds have dominated, been very, very good this evening.
Solomon trying to jink his way in from the left touchline. He loses the ball to Ince, and that's the end of the first 45 minutes, which I think the Leeds fans will be very satisfied with. We're about to get underway at the start of the second half, live on TalkSport 2. Leeds 2, Watford 0. Our referee, Anthony Backhouse, is just about to blow his whistle. He does that, and we are underway once again with Watford in those yellow shirts, red shorts and red socks, attacking the goal away to our right. It's all white for Leeds, attacking the Don Revie stand away to our left in this second 45. Pollock and Pirro getting in a little bit of a tangle down in front of us. Danny Mills, what do you expect from the second half?
Well, I expect Watford to come out in the first 5-10 minutes, have a real go. We just saw them, you know, they launched one into the corner from the kick-off. Leeds have got to come out, be positive with their attitude, weather this storm for the first 5 minutes or so, and then get on top like they did in the first half and really start to control the game. You know what's going to come from Watford. You know, Tom Cleverley will have shook things up at half-time. There are a few harsh words in that dressing room. So there will be a reaction. How long it lasts probably depends on Leeds and their attitude.
A little stumble by Sissoko, and it was almost pinched by Aronson. Back to Pollock on the right side for the Watford defence. I'll go through the 2-11s for you in just a second. Rodon has the ball in front of his penalty area, and Leeds look to build over on the right-hand side. And those who had a 5-minute early half-time are just starting to filter back into the ground in front of us, in the posh seats, the comfortable seats down in front of us, having enjoyed whatever lubrication they had at half-time.
It's Yorkshire posh seats though, isn't it? It's not massively posh.
Listen, any sort of cushion on your backside at a football ground is posh. Here on the right-hand side, the ball's played in towards the near post. He takes a couple of ricochets, and they're back in it. Watford picked up on the right by Quado Bar. He ran down the right into the 18-yard box. The ball was sent across the face of goal. It took a couple of cannons. I think Kayembe may well have got the final touch on that, but certainly there was a lot more luck about it rather than judgment, and it's been bundled in. Bar picking it up on the right-hand side, took the ball right towards the byline, run along the length of it, sent it into the centre. It came back off the defender and onto Bar, and Bar then popped it in.
I mean, that's poor from Leeds. What did I just say? You know, you expect Watford to come out. They will have been harsh words. They will come out. They'll be firing all cylinders. Leeds just had to weather that storm, match it. Surely Daniel Farke is saying to his team, look, they are going to come at you. They are going to give it absolutely everything. Now all of a sudden, Watford out of nowhere have got back into it. It's a poor clearance from Rodon, but it straight it back into the path of Bar, who slots it into pretty much an empty net. And suddenly now Watford have got their tails up, and Leeds have made it very, very difficult for themselves.
Chakbatadze trying to run down the left-hand side, combines with Larouci. Edge of the penalty area, Kayembe gets it, tries a strike, blocked by Rodon, goes out for a corner over on the far side. And those Watford fans that have come back for the second half certainly believe that there might be something in this game for them now. 2-1 to Leeds United, and now it does look like a dangerous scoreline.
Well, it's what Leeds didn't kill it off in the first half, and they've come out in the second half, and it was they were a little bit lacklustre, weren't they? You know, when Barr went down the outside, it too easily.
Here's the corner, delivered right under the goalkeeper, who thrusts it with two hands out of the box. It's collected by Larouci, far side the left. He cuts back in, runs towards the edge of the penalty area, takes a deflection, comes back to him again, and then he hits the roof of the Norman Hunter stand with his effort. It was so high. And it goes out and away for a goal kick. Could Ilian Meslier done any better in that situation? Could Joe Rodon have done better dealing with the
Joe Rodon could have done,
ball
yes.
in the box?
I think it went past Meslier. I don't. It was sort of a cross-come shot, wasn't it? And I think as it came across, sort of Joe Rodon put it straight back into his pass. A little bit like the goalkeeper Backman did in the first half. You know, when he just palmed it straight back into Aronson. But yeah, I think that's poor game management from Leeds. You know Watford have come out here. They've had a poor first half. They've made mistakes. You saw from the kick-off, they loaded it up and they launched it into the corner. You know what's coming for 5 minutes. Be ready to deal with it.
Well, Watford's inconsistency is famous. They've been inconsistent in this game. Bad spells and good spells, and they've got a chance here with Ince. Lovely little touch inside the penalty area after a deflection. Drops for him nicely. He flicked it round the corner, couldn't get the shot away. But they come again with Sissoko. It's played down the right. Quado Barr trying to get into the box. It's away by Strike and up towards the halfway line. At this moment in time, the tide has completely turned, and Leeds on the back foot.
It just goes to show, doesn't it, how obviously goals change games.
That is by Larouci over on the far side. Cuts in, gets into the penalty. Left-footed drive towards the near post. It's narrowly over the top of the crossbar, and there is a sense of anticipation amongst the Watford fans. All of a sudden, the tide has turned.
It's not always the scoreline that's important when a goal goes in. More often than not, it's about momentum. And suddenly, you know, Leeds were in the ascendancy. They were controlling it. They were in cruise mode. Suddenly, Watford get a goal back out of nowhere. Their tails are up, and now Leeds can't get out of their own half.
Bristol City have come back from 2-0 down tonight to equalise at Stoke. It's 2-2 there. It's 1-0 to Oxford, 2-1 to Preston, and Sheffield Wednesday, Swansea still 0-0. Coventry are 1-0 up at half-time against Queen's Park Rangers. Cardiff still 2-0 up against Portsmouth. Well, some of those games are nearly hitting the hour mark. We're barely into the second half here, but Leeds have already succumbed to the pressure from Watford at the start of this second 45. And we've got game on at Ellen Road. Ball thrown down the line by Firpo. Picked off by Pollock. Aronson wins it. Feels he was fouled by Sissoko. Free kick given. And that free kick given about 7 steps in from the left touchline, midway inside the Leeds half of the field. Derby have equalised away at the Kazam Stadium. Oxford have drawn their last 4 games. They're drawing this one too. It's 1-1 there. Strike to take it. The Hornets' previous visit to Ellen Road proved to be an enjoyable afternoon for Leeds United. Pirro and Sam Byram amongst the goals. They roared to a 3-0 victory that day. Watford's last win here came thanks to goals from Matthew Bidra and Troy Deeney, and they had to come 2 down to do it on that day.
But just listen to the crowd now, Sam. You know, we talked about it earlier. When it's going well, the atmosphere is absolutely amazing. Suddenly it's changed dramatically, hasn't it? And all of a sudden there's tension in the air.
Good turn by Tanaka. And plays it to Firpo, left-hand side, gets away from Ince. Leeds come on the attack, down the left side with Solomon. Solomon gets to the edge of the penalty area, sends the defender onto his backside, sets it back towards the edge of the box. Nonto tries to tee it up for Bogle. I should have left it for Bogle initially, and when he tried to steer it back to him, he was robbed by Larouci, and off Watford go again. 53 on the clock, 2-1 the score, live on Talk Sport 2. Collision involving Nonto's gone down on halfway. Referee is not going to put it out. Sirialta says there's not a head injury. Why are you stopping the game? It's not a head injury.
The referee signalled head injury. It's his arm.
And it's just breaking up the play.
Oh, you see,
now he's told the physio not to come on.
This drives me insane.
This is what they tried to outlaw at the beginning of last season. That's why they did all of the campaigns about, you know, the physio, if he comes on you have to go off for 30 seconds.
But it's
why they did the delaying of the restart yellow cards. Yeah, absolutely.
The referee stopped the game. Why is he stopping the game? It's never been a head injury.
Well, that was the thing. He signalled that it was.
Well, he needs to go Specsavers.
Do you remember when the referees were sponsored by Specsavers, by the way? That's still the case?
We clearly don't use them.
Here's Pollock sending the ball forward down the right side. Actually, do you know what? I think the refereeing in the Premier League this season has been much, much better.
Couldn't have got a lot worse.
Cricket umpires used to be sponsored by Specsavers as well. Good little marketing campaign, that, actually.
Fabulous.
8 minutes gone in the second half. 2-1 to Leeds United. The ball's gone out of play. Festi Ebosele wanted to take the throw in quickly. He was overruled by Pollock, who gets it back to Sissoko in the centre of midfield. He moves up to the halfway line, gives it to Ebosele once again, and then Kayembe tees it up and tries to give it back to Morris on the left-hand side of the defence. They kick it long, but it's White's head that gets it first. It's sent down towards Nonto, tries to get away from Morris, couldn't quite, and then Aronson does well to rob Sissoko, and Leeds win it back. They just need to turn up the tempo and get a little bit more swagger about them. And Rothwell's given the ball away to Chakvetadze in a dangerous area. It's been scooped out wide towards Kwado Bar. Bar gets hold of it, a yard in from the right touchline, tries to take on Firpo, goes beyond him, is pulled down by Firpo. The referee doesn't give a foul, he says play on.
I think the referee's missed that.
And then he does give a foul against Bar. And then he gives a few words into the face of Anthony Backhouse, the referee.
Poor refereeing. Very, very poor refereeing. Bar's a little nutmeg on Firpo, who just pulls him back. It's not much, but it's enough to give a foul. He doesn't give it, and of course the player's then going to be frustrated. And then he goes and barges into Solomon.
Oh well, he's going to give a yellow card here for Tom Cleverley, because Tom Cleverley dared to speak to the fourth official.
That's shocking refereeing. Really poor refereeing that. In the last 5 minutes he's caused himself problems by saying there was a head injury when there wasn't. Then's not giving a foul and then giving a foul. You can understand why Tom Cleverley's getting frustrated with that.
Josh Smith, the fourth official, has just stood there in a very... I mean, look, I'm just saying what I see from here. It does look like an arrogant manner. Cleverley's gone across to try and speak to him, and he has flat-palmed him with an outstretched arm as if to say, don't talk to me. Now, it cannot be the case at any stage where we get to the stage where you cannot have a conversation with the officials and ask for an explanation as to what's happened.
Exactly.
Communication has got to be key.
Game management. Man management is the most important thing from a referee. And I think we've just seen it there. It was very, very poor. It's disrespectful to just put your hand in somebody's face. They don't come anywhere near me.
Here is Nonto, right side, sending the ball in towards Bogle. Across goes Larucci, intervenes, and it goes out over on the far side for a throw-in. Cleverley is still complaining. The fourth official has retreated to the back of the area that he is occupying and standing behind the little drinks bucket now. And Cleverley has moved out to the edge of his technical area. He does have a right to ask for an explanation.
Of course he does. It wasn't aggressive. It didn't go over sort of shouting and screaming. He walks over quite calmly and he just want to say, look, why was that not given as a foul?
58 minutes gone. Talk Sport 2. It's 2-1 to Leeds United. Manor Solomon thinks he was fouled. The referee says play on, and Watford come forward with ints. They nab it, take advantage. Kwado Bar goes down the right hand side. Solomon goes back and tries to win it. It's smuggled out on the near side away for a throw. Now Solomon is having a go at the referee.
And this is the referee's doing. You start to lose a little bit of control, and all of a sudden it escalates very, very quickly.
Norwich have equalised. They were 2-0 down. It's 2-2.
Dangerous score, 2-0, sir.
Told you. So it's twice it's happened in the Championship tonight already. Is it going to happen for a third time? Ebosele's take a long throw into the box for Watford. 2-1 down. The ball is flicked away by Strike, and it's helped on by Aronson, but it's a yellow shirt that gets there first.
I mean, this game is completely turned on its head, isn't it? It's now Leeds that are struggling to get out of their own half.
Backman forward, sends a long ball over the top. Firpo deals with it, but heads it into the path of Sissoko. Ebersali then takes it on, down the right side. Ince is the only man in the penalty area. He goes on the outside, he's pulled back by Junior Firpo. That's going to be a yellow card for Junior Firpo. And a free kick in a dangerous position.
Do you know what, Sam? It's not a sending off, but there are some times where that's more than a yellow card, if that makes sense.
That is exactly what Stuart Pearce says.
Because it's so blatant and so there's no attempt to play the ball whatsoever. He's been done, all ends up. It's horrific defending, and he just pulls him back. Not great.
Pros hate that one as well. It is a very cynical act. Leeds are looking to maybe make some changes here. They're warming up some substitutes. Away to our left, Bamford is one of those who's just gone down. Jan James is going through his paces as well. Tommins has the ball, and it's like a hockey short corner, this.
Mellier's going to be under some pressure here.
And it's about 5 steps from the byline.
Stick it right under the crossbar on Mellier's head.
A really tight angle. It favours the left footer. Ince is going to take it left-footed in towards that near post, and Mellier punches it just about away to safety. Just about. He was under real pressure there, the French goalkeeper, and he had to come up with a big, strong fist. I'm not entirely sure he was confident that was going to spoon behind.
He's a little bit shaky on crosses. He sort of double fists it, but it hits one hand, then the other. It was a little bit fortunate.
Corner kick to Watford, who have piled on the pressure in this second half. We're about to hit the hour mark. It's crossed in by Ince, in towards the near post. Strike has taken advantage and headed back brilliantly clear. And now Watford trying to stop Leeds from getting out. Nonto's chested it down. Larouchi's done well, chased it into his own half. Ebersali is back there as well, and he's played it round Nonto, and Watford have got away with it. There's a bit of confidence about them now.
Well, it was in the tee at half-time. Watford have had something, haven't they?
It's amazing.
A completely different side. Fair play Tom Cleverley. He's now making a substitution as well.
Yeah, the change I thought we were going to see at half-time, Ryan Porteous, who went through a severe warm-up, is going to be switched into the proceedings. Scottish international, sent off in the European Championships in that Germany game. Here is Pirro onto Aronson as Leeds come forward down the right, a rare foray into opposition territory, and then Bogle hits it towards the far post. It hits the post, comes back to Pirro, and then Barton spills it again and then has to react and jump on it. Well, the cross from Bogle was opportunist. It went past everybody, hit the inside of the post, came back out into the penalty area, and Pirro's shot eventually was spilt by the goalkeeper once again, and then he had to react for a second time. He didn't know where he was.
Pinball wizard. Bogle didn't mean that. He's looking, that's a cross. He's looking to cross that, and he gets it a little bit wrong. Comes back off the inside of the far post to Pirro, and then Backman he scuffs his shot. Backman sort of smothers with his legs, it goes under him, and in second attempt manages to grab it.
Off comes Sirialta, who has been struggling with injury, and Porteous comes on. 2-1 the score to Leeds. But that was a good chance. An almost fortunate cross from the far side from Bogle, who has scored once against Coventry earlier in the season. Hit the inside of the post and came back out again.
It's been a great second half, Sam. I was expecting this to be a bit of a procession. You know, if Leeds weathered that initial storm, the first sort of 5 minutes or so, I thought, that's it then they'll cruise to victory.
Stuttgart have had a goal disallowed after taking the lead, or thinking they'd taken the lead against Juventus. A yellow card instead, and a disallowed goal for handball, which has stopped Stuttgart from taking the lead. PSV still lead PSG, don't they?
I tell you what, you don't see that very often, do you? The goalkeeper's just smashed it up and under to about 10 yards outside the Leeds box.
Get it away from danger. Bartman's got it,
and nothing
again.
wrong with that.
He's played it into midfield this time though. KMB has managed to get it back to Porteous. Porteous across. Pollock's gone into the centre of the three as a result of that change, which saw the withdrawal of Sirialta, and Porteous, the Scottish international, came on. Oh, what's the right mess between Struck and Aronson, and Ebersalee ended up charging down the right-hand side. And Leeds just looking a little bit tentative now.
Yeah,
that confidence has been sapped.
It's a foul by Struck, without a shadow of a doubt. He doesn't know where the ball is. He's got hold of Ebersalee. He's just got his arms around him. He's fortunate. Leeds are under pressure.
Desti Ebersalee has had a bright second half, so has Kwado Bar. Down this right-hand side for the away team. They've had terrible away form. Here comes Willie Gnonto over on the far side for Leeds United, trying to get into an advanced position, being chased by Morris. The ball's tucked out in the way for a throw-in, and I think there's a problem here for Ebersalee, who's gone down inside the Leeds United half. The referee's going to stop the game. It is not a head injury, but he's going to stop the game anyway because he's got some sort of problem, and he's called the physio on this time. And they're taking their time about trotting onto the field of play. Sturm Graz nil, Sporting 2 from the Champions League is the latest scoreline. Dortmund still 2-0 up away at Real Madrid. PSV leading against PSG. It's 0-0 Juventus Stuttgart. Girona 1-0 up. Aston Villa 0-0 with Bologna, and Arsenal 1-0 up against Shakhtar. It looks as if they're going to make a change here. It's going to be Ryan Andrews who's going to come on for Ebersalee. It's a like-for-like switch.
Yeah, Ebersalee, as he's getting back into position, he just puts his hand up to the bench and then goes to the floor. So clearly something wrong.
Well, I hope that's not a hamstring injury. Well, they've got so many injuries at this moment in time.
Just trying to see what they're rubbing his calves or whatever. He looks like he might be carrying on.
Well, Andrews has come out to the edge of the technical area. They've put the pink slip in for the change. So it does look as if Ebersalee is going to be replaced here.
No, you can take it back.
Oh. Just wait. Ebersalee says, yeah, I can go back on. And Andrews, who's now stripped and ready for action, has walked back towards the technical area.
Why is the fourth official getting involved? He's followed him down the touchline.
I have not got a clue.
What's he doing?
Is he marshalling him so that he can go back on the field of play?
It's the referee's decision to tell him to come on.
Watford have the ball and we're back underway. The ball goes out of play and away for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. The fourth official just giving a few words of advice to Desti Ebersalee.
I think I'll be tempted to turn around and say, you know what, mate, stick to your own job.
And now he's come back towards the halfway line. It's a very odd sort of situation in front of us where they've got a goal kick. He wants to get on the field of play. Now he's been called on. He's further up the side of the pitch. What was the fourth official getting involved for? Kwado Bar down the right side into the right wing position for Watford, who are looking to try and get back on level terms in this game. They were 2-0 down after 7 minutes. It's now 2-1. Foul by Ince on the edge of the penalty area. It's going to be a free kick for Leeds United. That might just take a little bit more extra pressure off them.
It's getting a little bit scrappy, isn't it? Referee's got to be careful that this doesn't get out of hand and get out of control. But the fourth official was a bit like Messi's security guard running up and down the touchline.
I actually thought at one stage, I thought he was one of the coaches, and we'd got it wrong. It wasn't the fourth official. No, it was Josh Smith. Here is Gnonto on halfway, well held up by Pirot. It's picked up and sent wide. It's behind Manuel Solomon, and it goes straight out of play and away for a throw into Watford on this near side. And Gnonto just trying to squeeze it out towards this near touchline. Didn't quite get his trajectory right, and it goes dribbling out for a throw in the right fullback position for Watford. 2-1 the score. Porteous sends it long down the touchline. Junior Firpo wins it. Porteous gets the second header. Rothwell tries to add a bit of composure, sends it over the top, but there's a bit of space for Manuel Solomon. He runs down the left side, faces up Musa Sissoko, plays it back towards the byline where Aronson is trying to twist and turn, but he's got 3 yellow shirts around him. The ball is cleared by Watford, but only as far as Tanaka. Tanaka sends it back to Junior Firpo. Firpo squeezes it to the edge of the box. Solomon sizes up a shot, runs towards the edge of the D, manages to strike it, had too much time to do so. Could have laid it off to Bogle, who was in an acre of space on the far side. Went for glory, nothing come of it.
Took too long, didn't he? He came inside and the space opened up. He should have took the shot earlier. He didn't, and then had another touch, and it gave the defender the opportunity to make the challenge.
John McGinn scores for Aston Villa. They lead by 1-0 against Bologna. What a result that would be for Aston Villa. Maybe 3 Champions League wins in a row. Wow. What a story unfolding at Villa Park. 2-1 to Leeds here, and we've had one hell of a ding-dong game.
But Gabby's going to be unbearable.
You're going to have to turn your social media off.
Oh, I'm going to be there Saturday as well.
Are you? At Villa?
I'm at Villa with Adrian.
Where's Gabby going to be?
Oh, I don't know. In the champagne bar, probably.
He'll come and find you. Here is Tom Ince picking the ball up on the right-hand side, trying to tease it into the box for Eboselu. Across comes Tanaka, who's done superbly tonight again after another good performance Friday night. And now a chance to break. He sent the ball over the top. Porteous has got to get there ahead of Pirro. He did just that, but it was a bit of a foot race, and for a moment there it looked like Pirro might get away from him. He didn't. It was good defending.
I tell you what, it's a good job Pirro's not got a lot of pace.
Here's Willie Gnonto, tries to get away from Porteous, slips the ball to Pirro, right side, tries to check back, should have pulled the trigger, didn't do so, and eventually it was snuffed out by the challenge over on the far side of Larouci. But Pirro took just a little bit too long to get his shot away. Now he's been penalised for a foul over on the byline. The referee has given a free kick. Watford, I mean, was he seriously stopping the game for that? He is. He's lost control a little bit here, I think.
He's also just rolled himself back onto the pitch.
He's only wasting his own time, let's be honest about it, because Watford are still behind.
Oh, it's another one.
Ebersele's going down again on this near side, the right. I mean,
when's pantomime season start?
Very soon. And now the referee's called on the physio. I mean, he clearly doesn't want to get on with the game. He hasn't got a flight to catch or anything like that in the morning.
You got a flight to catch, have you, Sam? Off anywhere nice? I've heard we won't recognise you on Thursday when you come back.
I'm not getting into it. The crowd are rather aggressively chanting, "What the hell is going on?" There might have been an expletive in there, but you know we've done.
To be fair, they've got a point.
They have got a point. I mean, listen, they were going to make a change earlier on when Ebosele had an issue. Just take him off. If he's not fit to continue, take him off. You know, surely starting this game.
There should be a very simple rule that if the referee stops the game because a player's gone down and obviously says to the referee, I can't get up, surely he has to go off for 30 seconds. That would be far easier. That would stop all that nonsense.
Off comes actually both fullbacks are coming off. I think Larouci is coming off and Andrews is coming on and Ken Sema is coming on for Ebosele. So Andrews will go on this near side, Sema will go out to the far left. I mean, he's put the wrong numbers up, but don't worry about it, fourth official. Concentrate on what you're doing on the near touchline.
Do you know what, Sam?
Down this side.
He's got one job.
Honestly, I haven't got a clue who's coming off there for Watford. It was only
fourth official's got one job and he can't even do that.
Well, we've managed to clear it up for you, even if the fourth official hasn't. Daniel James and Matteo Joseph are coming on. Pirro and Willie Gnonto are coming off.
He's not even bothering with the board now. He's got 2 electric boards down there and he's given up on them both.
It's been thrown behind him in disgust.
Oh no, he's still got one in his hand.
Oh yes, he has.
They can't both have run out of batteries.
Well, he could have changed them if he hadn't been going down the touchline with Ebosele earlier.
Oh,
going on his little hike.
I tell you what, sometimes officials do make it easy for us.
Well, it's 2-1, and it certainly hasn't been easy for either Leeds or Watford tonight. But Watford have had a much better second half. Matteo Joseph trying to make an instant impact, running in from the right-hand side from a throw-in which was launched to the edge of the 6-yard box, and Porteous had to be alert and tucks it behind.
Yeah, Watford have just got to keep their concentration, that they have been in the ascendancy in the second half. They've just got to make sure they don't sort of get overrun with emotion and make any silly mistakes, allow Leeds that third goal, which would probably kill it off at this stage.
Rudiger has scored for Real Madrid. It's 2-1 to Dortmund in the Champions League. It's 2-1 to Leeds here. Corner for Leeds, and Rothwell in towards the near post. Good strong header away. There's a free kick there because someone breathed on a Watford defender. I'm looking for the foul, and all I can see is Porteous and James wrestling with each other. Ball cleared up towards the halfway line. The ball drops in midfield. Watford have it. Sissoko falls to the right. Ince towards the near touchline. Andrews takes it on. He's got support down the right from Quado Bar. Doesn't give it to him. Instead he goes back towards halfway. Porteous' ball is poor, and then it goes up into the path of Joseph, and then Joseph gets it back again from Maynard Solomon, and then it just trickles out of play and away for a throw-in. That was good work by Matteo Joseph, who knew that he had to improvise to try and keep Leeds in possession, did so, and with 15 minutes to go they have a throw-in on this near side.
I wouldn't be surprised there's a red card in this. It's getting a little bit feisty, isn't it? A little bit panic stations.
Throwing on the near touchline then to be taken by Junior Firpo.
Oh, it looks like Real Madrid have just had a goal disallowed
as well.
Well, my app flipped up 2-2 and now it's gone back to 2-1.
Looks like an interesting night in the Bernabeu. It's been an interesting night at Ellen Road. The Whites here have been in control.
Hanging on a bit, aren't they?
Then they lost control. They're starting to reassert their authority again in the last few minutes, Dan. Here is Manu Solomon trying to get into the penalty area after skipping past the challenge. I do think that the Ramazani substitution did affect them, because actually Solomon hasn't provided the same sort of threat. Oh, crikey.
What's he doing?
The referee wants the free kick taken from a specific juncture of the penalty box.
But the goalkeeper collected the ball. Just play on.
Up it goes into Chak Batansi. He can't control it. Leeds have got it back again. It's sent to Strike, and he gets it back. The problem is, it's actually been a really good game. I don't want the referee to spoil it.
No, and this is what we always say. Great referees don't get seen.
Firpo down the near side, trying to turn the ball back infield, does well. Tanaka, he's taking two players out of the game with that pass. There's Firpo, on to James, tries to slip it into the path of Jaden Bogle, who sends across to the far post. There's no one there to finish it off. It was a decent run. It was a really good ball by Daniel James. Had exactly the right weight on it, down into the right channel. Bogle on the overlap, getting into a crossing position, just sent it into an area there was no one there to convert it.
Couldn't quite wrap his foot around it as he was heading towards the goal line, could he? And just got a little bit of outside the foot, a little bit of side spin that just drifted out of play over the far post.
It's a shame. Good ball by James, that. Here is Tanaka taking it down for Leeds United into the path of Aronson. The battling of these two teams to try and find an extra edge. Leeds want the clinching goal. Watford want the equaliser. Kayembe around the corner. Chak Batansi with a heavy touch, but he's turned it back into Sissoko, spread it wide. Ince has got it on the halfway line for Watford as they try and turn on the attack. Just hesitated again slightly, and when they haven't been at their best, Watford, it's in those moments where they've got the ball in a decent position, they could spread it wide, they could send it forward quickly, they hesitate, they go back, they hold on to possession, and their chance of attack goes.
It's that tiny little bit of lack of confidence, lack of belief, where they just hesitate, rather just go rapid into somebody, play the next pass. Should I, shan't I? Hesitation.
Quado Bar thinks he's timed his run, but he hasn't, and the offside flag is up against him. Well, the noise this stadium can generate is intimidating for visitors, but also when things don't go your way, it can be a weight on your shoulders. But there's always going to be games like this at Ellen Road where you have control, then you don't, when you get in front and you get pegged back, because the way that Daniel Farke sets up the Whites as a front foot forward attacking side means they're always going to be a handful for anyone in the Championship, but they're always going to be vulnerable too. What they are is incredibly entertaining.
Did you say that Villa 2-0 up now?
Yes, John Duran has just scored. Vinicius Junior has scored his 6th goal of the season. It's 2-2. Real Madrid, they were 2-0 down as well.
Another dangerous score.
Told you. Firpo on this left side, tries to get into the box, plays a 1-2 with Matteo Joseph, gets it back again. Lovely little flip by Aronson. Maynor Solomon with a shot, didn't get any purchase behind it from a 45-degree angle down the left-hand side. It's a lovely flick by Aronson, who managed to release Maynor Solomon in behind the defence, and he got into a position where he was just a bit behind him, so he had to readjust his feet, but he struck it just without the requisite power.
It was a little Cruyff flick, wasn't it, to put him in. Magnificent little pass, and it's almost like he just tried maybe to hit it too hard and scuffed it.
James from Tanaka's pass gets to the edge of the area, leads on the attack here. It's James clipping the cross in towards Aronson and Joseph, and they got in each other's way, and in the end I think Joseph got his head on the ball, but it would have been better to leave it for Brendan Aronson.
What concerns me about Leeds and Daniel Farke at the moment is it's still a bit helter-skelter at the moment. It's still about 100 miles an hour. Leeds are 2-1 up. Control the game, control the football, keep it, play a few passes, take the sting out of the game, because at the moment it's very frantic, very energetic, and when it's like that, anything can happen.
Well, Watford have lost the last 3 of the last 5 Championship games away from home. They've lost their last 4 in the Championship on the road, conceding 11 times and scoring just once in that period. They have got on the score sheet tonight, but can they do it again and take something from this game? Because for large parts of that first half, we thought there was absolutely no chance.
I thought they were dead and buried, you know. First half they were completely out of it.
Leeds have reasserted their authority in the last 10 minutes or so.
You know, fair play to Tom Cleverley. You know, he's made changes. He obviously had a decent team talk at half-time, and his team have come right back into it. But they just need to test Meslier a few more times, as Leeds are starting to put the pressure on again.
Maynor Solomon picking it up right-footed, tries from the edge of the box to send it into the far corner, and it had Butman scrambling towards his right hand upright.
I think he left it in the end. I think. Going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he pulled his hands away and it started to drift wide. I think he had it covered.
Andrews near side. They're going to make another positive change. Vata is going to come on and spruce up the attack. He's only a youngster, is Rocco Vata, 19 years of age, about to come on and try and increase the presence up top. Not too much in terms of depth on the bench for Watford today. It's going to be, is it Dumbia who's going to come on too? Looks like it. 2 more changes, Vata and Dumbia.
Well, he looks a big lad, doesn't he?
Mamadou Dumbia, only 18 years of age, not scored for Watford, but he's scored goals for the Mali international team. It shows that they're serious about trying to get something from this game. It's Leeds who are on the attack at this moment in time, and it's collected by James, who flicks the ball in towards Joseph, and his header is straight at Bartman. There was no power in it. He just got something on it. That's all he did when he needed to power it into the net, maybe head it down and away from the goalkeeper.
Just get a decent contact on it. It was a great opportunity.
They've run it high up. Into the box goes Firpo. Tries to drag it into the centre. He had Solomon outside him. Didn't use him. He decided against it. Another stoppage. Kayambi's gone down this time.
It was a great opportunity. Matteo Joseph. The ball's just flighted into the box. He's 3 yards from goal. And he barely gets his hair on it. It's a really poor header. It's a great opportunity. He's a good finisher as well. And he gets there's no belief in the header. I'd have to say, as the cross comes in, he's on the edge of the 6-yard box. It hits his head rather than he heads it.
Marco Vata, born in Scotland, an Ireland under 21 international.
How big's Dumbia, by the way? He was about 6'2", 6'3". I said it to all be brilliant. I'm not saying, just get the ball and launch it into the box. Last 10 minutes, go route one.
I've got to be honest with you, there is a need for that.
Well, there's no. They've got nothing to lose, have they, at this stage?
Yeah, they really
be pretty, but so what?
They haven't had much territory at all in the Leeds half. The longer we've gone on here. And they need to sort of find a way of getting the ball up the pitch.
Well, the teams aren't used to defending against it, Sam.
What they've got to stop doing is wasting so much time, because actually all that's doing is playing into Leeds' hand. They're not going to get all this time back. I don't know what on earth they think they're doing. They're 2-1 down. They're not 2-1 up. They've got to find a way of getting back in the game.
Well, having said that, we've got no idea how many minutes the fourth official's going to put up.
Yeah, it depends. Yes. You might be right there, Danny. He hasn't been the most reliable. The officials actually, I'm usually the one that sticks up for the officials, but I think tonight they've been rather too influential in proceedings, and that's what you don't want. The Leeds fans in fine spirits, waving their scarves above their head. Aston Villa lead by 2-0. Great result for Unai Emery in the Champions League. This will be a good win for Leeds. They won't be going top of the pile, they'll be going second if it stays like this. But they will be marching on together. Well, treatment is over. The game has restarted. We're waiting now for someone to actually start kicking the football. Butman sends it long, up high, over the halfway line. Firpo heads it straight out. I mean, during that, by the way, while they were giving treatment, was there any chance they could have made that substitution?
I've no idea what's going on down there.
And now we've got to have another pause while they make a substitution. Kayembe, funnily enough, is okay, and he's going back into the centre of midfield. Porteous forward. Too many stoppages. Too much messing around, too much influence from the officials. Let's just get on with the game. This is a good game. Don't spoil the end of it. Andrews down the right side, tries to nudge it in towards the edge of the penalty area in Chapmatanze. Kept alive by Sissoko.
I think the problem is the fourth official can't work the board.
First day. Ball sent on by Watford, goes straight out of play and away for a goal kick away to our right. We are going to get a change now. And off comes Quado Bar, who has scored tonight. His third goal of the season, came off the bench to score against Borough, was on loan at Burton Albion last year. And he's made an impact in the second half here. He takes the bobble out of his ponytail.
Well, there should be. Well, we got 4 minutes of normal time. There was 5 minutes at the end of the first half, so by rights there should be 8 or 9.
Bar and Sissoko off. Dumbia and Vata are on. And look, those are two new players, two very young players to come on and try and influence things. Vata is a number 10. Wiry little figure, looks sort of in the Cole Palmer build as the ball is sent forward by Firpo, cut out by Ken Sema. Was it handball? Referee said play on. He brings it forward to the halfway line for Watford. Can they get themselves back into this game in what's left of this match? We haven't got a clue how many minutes.
Bobo's lucky.
Diving in, and Sema can manage to escape with the ball. He gets it into the penalty area and then cuts it out. Kayembe tries to charge forward under pressure from him.
Oh, ref's in the way again. Get out of the way, ref.
Picked up on the left by Sema once again. 3 minutes to go before the 90 is up. There will be lots of added time. It's played forward into the path of Chavatadze. Offside flag is up. This is what's happening in the Championship tonight. Cardiff lead Portsmouth by 2-0. Leeds 2-1 up here at Ellen Road. Oxford 1, Derby 1. Preston 2, Norwich 2. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Swansea 0. Stoke 2, Bristol City 2. Queen's Park Rangers 1, Coventry 1. Arsenal leading by a goal to 0 against Shakhtar. Own goal has separated them there. Leandro Trossard had a great chance to score from a penalty. He shot straight in the middle of the goal, but it was saved by the goalkeeper. They had a chance to go 2-0 up. Arsenal didn't make it. And Aston Villa lead by 2-0 in their game against Bologna. You're up to date on Talk Sport 2, where tomorrow night there's more live action from the Champions League, back-to-back games from 5:45. Join us for that. Celtic, then Manchester City in action. The EFL Championship always has twists and turns. At one stage, Leeds were top of the Championship when they took a 2-goal lead here, helped by Daniel Bartman's fumbles. But the Watford goal, which was helped by a bit of indecision in the Leeds defence right after half-time, 96 seconds into the second half, has created some uncertainty too. And now they're second.
8 or 9, I think. The official has just shown the crowd, I think. He just held his fingers up to the crowd.
And it's been particularly helpful to everyone. Here's Matteo Joseph slipping it down the right for James. James into the penalty. Can he finish it? No! He shoots towards the near corner and it's tipped over the top by Bartman and it's out for a corner.
Good save, and he had to make it. James, in hindsight, probably should go across the goalkeeper, go towards the far post. He goes near post, tries to drive in. It's a good save by the goalkeeper.
Joseph's in the centre as well, wanting the delivery. He wanted the ball back to him inside the penalty area. James went for glory.
He's just missed a glorious header though, so James is not going to pass there when he's got a shot on.
Corner kick to be taken by Rothwell. 89th minute of the game. Can Leeds finish it off? Rothwell to take the corner. They have restricted Watford in the latter part of this second half to very few efforts on goal. It's aimed towards the far post, flicked into the air by Rodon, taken down by Aronson. It's an up and under, it's still alive. Joseph is there, comes back to Solomon, hits it second time, takes a deflection out for another corner.
Madness in that box. Aronson's, I don't know, it's a sort of a shot to loop it back in, but it ended up very, very awkward for the Watford defence, didn't it?
Yeah, because it came down from a great height. They couldn't quite deal with it, and when it came off the head of, I think it was Fortius, it went straight into the path of Maynard Solomon. 8 minutes of added time. And his effort was deflected behind. It's away for another corner. Rothwell to take it. So 8 more minutes to play here in the Championship, where it's 2-1 to Leeds going into the dying seconds of the game. Right-footed ball curling out towards the penalty spot. There's all sorts of shirt pulling going on. Strike gets his header on, but it doesn't really cause too many problems. The ball sent back over the top. Joseph went to go towards it. He was being pulled back by Pollock, but again the referee turned a blind eye to that, and it was cleared away by Watford. I mean, they will believe as soon as that ball went up for 8 minutes that there is still something in this for them, but they've got to get the ball into the Leeds half, and they just haven't done that enough.
No, and I think this is time sometimes where you just just go a bit direct. What have you got? You've got nothing to lose at this stage.
Fortius, an up and under from him. Dumbia tries to bring it down, couldn't manage it, goes deflecting into the path of
Leeds haven't controlled the game in the second half as well as they should have done. Their game management hasn't been brilliant.
Well, right from the very off, they allowed that opportunity to squirm in, and that's put them under extra pressure. I still don't think they've created enough.
No, they haven't. But then Leeds could have managed the game better. They've tried to score at times where maybe they should have just kept the ball and.
Little Maynor Solomon has been penalised for bringing down Ryan Porteous. Was that a handball by Barter? The referee said no. Barter back down the right hand side into Andrews. Andrews trying to take on the rugby tackle. Strikes just brought him down, and the free kick's gone Leeds' way. I mean, sometimes you just can't explain it, can you?
Look, it's a full-on rugby tackle. Strout's got his arms round him, brings him to the ground. 3 yards in front of the assistant referee with a flag. Bizarre.
Meslier kicks clear from the left full-back position, high up into the night sky. 93 on the clock, 2-1 to Leeds United. Tom Cleverly comes across and tries to get the ball
touch
back in play. He was the central midfielder for Manchester United.
Well, I know, but on the half volley, he's done unbelievably well to bring that down.
Throw into Leeds. Actually, it definitely came off Matteo Joseph, that. Kayembe's going, what are you looking at, ref? Sometimes I think when you're having a bad day as a ref, everything seems to go wrong for you, doesn't it? He's got far too involved when he didn't need to in this game. That's been the problem for him tonight. Unnecessarily so. Ball drops inside the Watford half. Chakbatadze gets it back to Morris, who sends it to his goalkeeper, who's a little bit panicky. He's giving it back, and then Daniel James, just showing no composure, just immediately elevates it goalwards, and it goes over the crossbar. I mean, it could have been another embarrassing moment for Butman. He should have just held onto the ball there and then constructed the attack. They had 4 men to Watford's 3.
And this is what happens sometimes. You know, we talked about the atmosphere, how amazing it is at times. But sometimes the atmosphere revs players up so much, they lose a bit of composure and they get a little bit panicky. And I think the officials have been sucked into that tonight as well.
Yeah.
They've got mixed up with the atmosphere of the game.
Totally. Aronson. James. An up and under which was aimed towards Joseph. Poor header by Morris, and Joseph has picked it up. He's now running towards the right-hand side. 94 minutes on the clock. He wants to keep the ball. He played it into Aronson, who's offside.
I'm not sure he was, by the way. I'm not convinced about that.
And a free kick is given to Watford. They send it long. They're going to make one more change here. Leeds United. Sam Byram, I think, is going to come on. Ball kick clear up over the halfway line. Header by Rodon. Took a little deflection, goes out. It's away for a Watford throw.
We've still got 4 minutes left.
Yep.
It's almost one of those games you don't want to end, isn't it?
Yeah. Barnsley 2, Charlton 2. Latest scoreline at Oakwell, just down the road from here. Ball clipped up towards Portis. He flicks it on, and it runs through to Meslier. Mellier's got to be careful. No last-minute howlers, please, say the Leeds United fans. They don't need that tonight. Should have beaten Sunderland, didn't because of a mistake. They could have beaten Burnley. The Burnley were under cosh in that game and won 1-0. The Norwich result was probably about right, but they have competed with the best so far, Leeds United, and they haven't looked out of place. And they believe that they're building something. They're heading towards something. If they get a victory tonight, it will be a 3rd home victory in a row, the 4th defeat in 6 for Watford, 6 wins in 9 for championship chasing Leeds. They'll be up to 2nd. Burnley and Sunderland play tomorrow, where Hull and Luton respectively. And this will be a hard-earned victory for Leeds United.
They've made hard work of it in the second half, haven't they? They should have really gone for it. You know, 7 minutes, 2-0 up. They should have really gone for it in that first half.
Oh, he's been light bulbed. Manor Solomon is off, and Sam Byram is on. Real Madrid come from behind to beat Borussia Dortmund by 3 goals to 2. The captain, Lucas Vazquez, completes the comeback.
Go on then, you can have it. Dangerous scoreline.
Remember, Dortmund were 2-0 up in that game. Stoke were 2-0 up in their game.
It's only because it's dramatic.
Preston 2-0 up.
0-0 is still more dangerous.
The game's not finished at 2-0, and the problem is that people relax a little bit at 2-0.
But more teams lose from 0-0 than they do from 2-0.
Of course they do.
That's okay.
But no one said that wasn't the case. I just said,
well, sometimes some people do. Not you, Sam, because you're far too clever.
Yeah, all right. We've played 97 minutes. We've got 90 seconds to go. The ball clipped upfield by Bartman. And there was a foul there by Matthew Pollock on Pascal Strike. It's his turn now to stay down. And Leeds have a free kick. I'm wasting a few more precious seconds. And I'll say this again. You know, we've had 8 minutes of injury time. What has Meslier had to do in that period?
No, I was about to say something. The last 15 minutes, Watford haven't put enough pressure on. And that's why I said that maybe just go direct. Stick some balls over the tops. We know that Meslier is not great on crosses. Stick some balls into the box. Make it awkward for him. Put him under pressure.
One shot on target in the second half. Dan. One shot on target. The goalkeeper's placed 3 shots. He's made 2 saves in the whole match.
It's not enough. Sometimes, no, if it's not, change it up, do something a little bit different.
And as much as they made it anxious because they got back into it, they haven't done enough to really trouble Leeds in the second half, I'm afraid, and that will disappoint Tom Cleverley. I think the anxiousness came because of the atmosphere. I think you were absolutely right. You know, that change of tone after that first 96 seconds. Another long ball goes upfield. Meslier will turn and run it into his box and then pick it up. And now Joe Rodon says, well done, keep calm, let's get it clear. We played out 8 minutes of added time. Goalkeeper has hold of it. Needs to kick it long. He will do. He throws it out, bowls it out, clips it high into the night sky. Leeds think they've won the game. Joseph heads it down. Back it comes again. We're in minute 99. We're only supposed to have 8 added on. Minimum of 8. The referee does what he wants though tonight. Ball clipped over the top by Rodon. Away by the defender. Kick clear by Chak Vitadze. And now the referee is going to go over and have a word with him. He's not going to book him though.
Well, he's not time-wise. This is a 2-1 down.
Delaying the restart though, isn't it?
For good, yeah.
Real Madrid have scored a 4th. Get on with it, says the referee. 2-1 Leeds into the final few moments. The crowd's starting to believe that the job is done finally here because they're edging towards that period. We're into the 100th minute of the game and he's still playing on. Thrown in from the left by Watford, up towards Dumbia. He manages to head it on, it's flicked away by Strike. There's still going to be another moment. Eventually now, he has blown his whistle.